Today we're gonna make this look like this, so I can do this. Now everybody has ugly utility stuff somewhere on their house, like an electrical box, but usually it's around a corner where you can't see it. Ours is right in the middle of the back of our house next to the pool. Recently, I built this screen wall to hide all the pool equipment. It's the same type of situation, and since it looks nice, we can do the same idea over there. So it's gonna look similar in that it's cedar strips, but the construction's different because you can't just cover this up. You have to be able to get to it. Plus, I want a place to hang towels. We'll get to that later. First, let's go cut down some cedar strips. I found last time that I had much better luck buying 1x4s and cutting them down to strips rather than just buying 1x2s. Those things were super wonky. Now with the fixed screen that we did before, it was held up between two posts, but this is gonna be totally different. Basically, we wanna make sure that the utilities are accessible in every way very quickly. So I don't wanna do something that is permanent. I wanna make something that can be removed completely if needed, but in the meantime, it can just be opened for quick access. Now the meter on the inside of this is about 9 inches deep. So we have to build a box basically coming off the wall that's about 9 inches and then have a door in the front of it. That door is gonna be 36 inches wide, so I'm not sure if it should be one door or maybe two yet. We'll figure it out. Either way, the cedar is very light, so I don't think the weight will be a problem. But either way, the first step is just gonna be to build a simple box that mounts onto the wall, and then we can mount the doors. Hey, it's not safe by a saw. You gotta go somewhere else. Booney, you gotta go somewhere else, buddy. This video is sponsored by Anker, and you know them because they make all sorts of chargers and battery backups in case the power goes out in your home. But did you know that their battery backups can run 3D printers? This 3D printer is running off of this, the S2000. Now I wanted the S2000 for a few reasons, in case we lose power in our house, or to take it with me camping, but really it's so that I have a battery backup for my 3D printers. If I have a long print that's running for my business and it goes down, that costs me days. But if I've got a battery backup like the S2000, even if the power goes out, my prints can continue until the power comes back on. This thing has a 3000 watt peak output, which means it can run basically all of the appliances in your house. Plus you could run a fridge off of this for 35 hours. If you live in a place like me that tends to have storms and lose power, you know that keeping your fridge running for a long time can be really important, and this is all you need. But on top of appliances and 3D printers, it's also small enough that you can take it with you. When we go camping, I want to take this in the car because then we can all charge our phones on it. In fact, you can charge an iPhone over 30 times on a single charge of the S2000. This thing has 5 AC outlets, some on the front, some on the back, so you can keep things permanently plugged in. There's also USB ports on the front, so you can charge your phone. This thing charges really quickly, about an hour to get to 80%, plus you can do it with AC power in your wall or solar. Obviously, there's no emissions and it's super quiet. Now the S2000 is a brand new product. In fact, it's not even out yet, so they've got a deal for you that only works until June 1st. The pre-launch price is $599 through June 1st, and on June 2nd, it goes up to $679. So you want to take advantage of that cheaper pricing. I'll put all the details for it down in the description. This is a fantastic battery backup to have to power your appliances or your printers, keep your phones charged or your Wi-Fi network running in case of a power outage. Be sure to check it out down in the description, and huge thanks to Anker for sponsoring this video. Okay, dead simple frame. You'll notice though at the bottom, there's just a 2x4 going across. That's gonna be on the front side because I've got a bunch of utility stuff that goes down that I need to kind of work around. And that piece down there is really just to keep these at the same distance from each other. Next, we gotta make a frame to go on top of this. So you have a really simple door, which will have to be reinforced, but it's gonna hinge on that side. Speaking of the hinges, while I've got it in this state, not too heavy, easy to manage, I'm gonna go ahead and put the hinges on so I can get the holes in the right place, and then I'll take the front door back off. I will finish the door by itself. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the door off, and then we can worry about getting the frame on the wall. Now I've got to hang that big heavy frame on the wall. I'm gonna put it on 2 of these L brackets, which means I need to drill some holes for these brackets in the brick. If you don't have a hammer drill, get one, or at least rent one. It makes it so much easier. Now I can set this up there and figure out where I need to notch it for the wires to come through the side. Where's my pencil? Oh, that's my pencil. About 2 3/4 inches. Nailed it. All right, that worked pretty well. I'll probably put another bracket down there at the bottom just to keep the bottom attached to the wall. But we need to talk about sagging. That rectangle is fine because it's held from the top piece, and so gravity is just gonna hold it down. But the door is gonna be held by hinges on one side, and it's a box, which means it's gonna wanna do this over time. If you've ever had an old wooden gate or even a door, you'll know that eventually the non-hinge side wants to start dropping. That rectangle is gonna eventually start kind of falling apart, so you need to support it across. You can do this with a simple diagonal. The diagonal piece should stop it from sagging for the most part, but I'm also gonna be putting 3 pieces inside the frame across, one at the top, middle, and bottom, and these are mainly to attach the vertical strips to, but they'll also help because each one of those will be attached to my diagonal. There's probably a pretty simple mathematic way to figure out exactly where to put this corner, but I'm just gonna wing it. Okay. I'm just gonna wing it. I'm gonna eyeball it. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a great way to get these 2 held in place other than like brute force. So I guess we get to see how strong I am today. All right, so I gotta lift that up, get a screw in, try not to kill my wife's plants. It's not too bad. Assuming I can get the screw. Oh no! To go into the hole. Oh, wait. Okay. Got it. I'll take it. Just realizing I forgot to buy a latch. Okay, the slats are gonna go on the exact same way that I did on the other side of the pool. Basically, you put one on, put a couple of brad nails in to hold it in place, and then on the back side, drive in 1 1/4 screws through this piece and the front piece. That way you don't see any of the fasteners. It worked out super well, so I'm just gonna do it again. Then we take a 1/2 inch spacer, put it in between, line up the top, go down to the middle, line up the spacer, shoot in the brad. Go down to the bottom, spacer, shoot in the brad. Whole bunch of times. Now this still needs some finish, but it's gonna rain today. But that's a really simple cover that anybody could make to cover up the utilities around their house. We also have a pool and a bunch of kids, and so I wanna take advantage of these slats to do something else. We need places to put towels out here. That's the simple thing. And you could just take coat hooks and put them on the outside of this and you've got a place to hang towels. But it looks pretty nice like this, and so it'd be cool to make towel hangers that were hidden. Now I only have a vague idea of what I want to do here. I know that I want it to be as hidden as possible with like a little nub sticking out on the front side that you can flick and then it'll rotate out and you can hang a towel on it, and then when you're done you can just kind of flick it again and it'll disappear. Could be metal, could be 3D printed. Let's figure it out. So basically, if you're looking at the profile of the slats, and this is the outside, this is the inside, I want to have something that's hinged back here that sticks out and acts as a hook for a towel. And then that thing needs to be able to flip back and kind of get out of the way, exposing a little bump out, maybe that's here, that you can kind of flick with your finger to get it to drop down, but then you can easily flick it back when you don't want it. It's probably best if I just go to Fusion and try to come up with something. Now, most of my projects start in Fusion because I think it's a great tool to be able to take an idea and be able to see it in the real world, solve some problems before you ever buy material or cut material. But a lot of people don't know where to start when it comes to modeling. Well, I've got an online course that I made, and it's me teaching you Fusion. It's called Fusion for Makers, and you don't have to have any experience with 3D modeling whatsoever. If you would like to be able to model your ideas and test things out and build plans for projects, I would love it if you would check out the course. So I'll put a link down in the description, and that's gonna have a 10% off code on it. So if you sign up now, you're gonna get a better deal. Go check it out, see if it's something for you. And if you don't like it, I'll give you your money back. So I've been working on several different versions of this, and honestly, I don't know which one's gonna work, but I think this is a pretty good place to start. So I'm gonna print this out in ASA, which is a new filament to me, but it's supposed to be really good in high heat and with water and with UV. So I think it'll be great next to a pool. All right, let's print this thing out and see if it works. The prints are done. Let's see if this thing actually works. I cut down a 1/4" dowel, and that's gonna go through this hole, which should be round, I'm not sure why it's not. Now that the dowel is in there, it's just gonna go into this little piece and then will be held right here against the slat. And this thing can just move up and down and it'll be stopped by the top stop and the bottom stop. But we gotta make sure it actually fits in between the slats. Let's go try it out. All right, so this thing is gonna fit right here in between two of the slats, and then we'll get held in with some screws. The bump out is really, really small, which is exactly what I wanted. And then when you just flick it, you got a towel hanger. Sweet. Now, there are a couple spots here where the wood's not straight and it's a little bit tight, so I may have to thin this thing out, but overall, that works super well. So now I just gotta print 5 or 6 more of these and go get some really tiny screws, and then we can install them. That actually worked out super well, and I figured something out. Depending on how tight these screws are, it compresses the dowel against the wood, making it tighter or less tight. And so you can actually adjust how flexible this is, how loose it is, and keeping it a little bit tight so it doesn't fall down by accident, I think is probably pretty smart. Now, just gotta put on the rest of them. Now, before I try this out, I know of a couple issues that I'm already gonna have to deal with later on. One of them is wasps. Wasps are just kind of like an outdoor problem. Anytime you have a container that has a gap where a wasp can get in and build a nest, it's gonna do it. So eventually I'm just gonna have to open this up, look for nests, spray them just so nobody gets stung out here. But the other thing is the fact that I'm gonna be hanging wet towels on wood. Even cedar, eventually that's gonna be a problem. So I'm gonna have to keep up with adding a coat of urethane to this at least once a season, maybe more often, so that you end up not having problems with this wood because you have wet things hanging on it. But either way, that is ugly. This looks way better, and it's something that anybody can do in an afternoon. We need to see what it looks like with towels on it. There you go. A project that anybody could use, anybody could make. It's easy, it's cheap, and it's removable. Plus, it's got hooks. If this gave you an idea of something that you could do at your house, I would love to hear about it down in the comments. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll catch you next time. Andy girl. Andy girl. Wait, Boone. Oh. Andy, don't let him do that.